Hey guys, before we start the recap, there is a breaking trade. The White Sox, Dodgers, and Cardinals are doing a three-way trade, but the final pieces have not been finalized, so we're going to break that down in tomorrow's recap. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, back to the normal video. The trade deadline won't stop giving us deals. Tampa Bay traded yet another all-star, and Rays fans, they're just trying to stay calm because they're kind of asking the question, why should we spend good money on jerseys if you're just going to trade them in 2 years? Cleveland has not made any trades, and they're thinking maybe they can get away with it if this kid keeps on raking. Ohtani, he just set a new career high in stolen bases, and wait until you hear what he's done over the last 162 games. We have yet another cycle. Can't forget about that, and yeah, it's getting all-time bad for the White Sox. Some fans are saying that guys are quitting and they're just begging to be traded. We'll talk about that in a second. Remember everyone, MLB Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you like daily fantasy sports, be sure to download Underdog Fantasy. My code Fuzzy will give you a $250 bonus cash credit and a free pick'em when you sign up with my code. Oh no, this just came across my timeline. This is so sad. Rest in peace to Reyes Morant, I think that's how you say his name. His nickname was El Tibu. From 2017 to 2019, he was a monster out the pen for the Giants. He had a 2.5 ERA and 160 strikeouts in like 120 innings, something like that. So he was a strikeout machine. He's going to be missed. Prayers out to his family. All right, so before we talk about the big trade, let's see what Isaac Paredes did in his final game as a Tampa Bay Ray. Austin wins. He singles and Stuart Fairchild for the game's first run. And look at Isaac. He made a heads-up play to fire to first base. Wins. He's caught in a pickle. Taylor Walls, he hit the fake throw, and Espinal, he took off for home. That's huge for Tampa Bay because they had to save every run possible because Hunter Green, he was not letting anyone score. Hunter was perfect through the first 4 frames until allowing a few in the 5th. He still has a no-hitter after 5. This could be trouble. Ellie De La Cruz, he flies out of nowhere to keep the no-hitter, and now it's gone. Brandon Lau, he ruins it, but that did not phase Hunter Green. He strikes out Josh Lowe. He goes 6 innings. He wants 7, and he gets it. So 7 scoreless, just 2 base hits. But Fernando Cruz botched his chance at a W. He got Ahmed to chase for the final out. That's a strikeout, but it got past the catcher. I guess command was just not a priority for Cincinnati yesterday. Lucas Sims walks Richie Palacios. It's now 2-1 Rays. Pete Fairbanks, he shuts it down in the final inning. He has 20 saves. Cincinnati, they fall to 50-55. They haven't bought or sold. I have no idea what their plan is at the trade deadline season, but we know what the Rays are doing. So here we go. Isaac Paredes is going to the Chicago Cubs in exchange for 3 separate guys. Christopher Morel, Hunter Biggie, and Ty Johnson. Paredes, he made an all-star team this year. He's under team control until 2028. I agree with the Rays fan base. Why even buy a jersey? Because, again, they're just going to trade them for peanuts. I shouldn't say peanuts because that's disrespectful. The Rays do a decent job at getting back value in trades, but come on, Isaac and Randy in the span of a week when they're both under team control for the next 2 or 3 years, that hurts. All right, so let's see what the Tampa Bay Rays got in return because we know that Isaac is a monster. The Rays get 25-year-old Christopher Morel, who has 18 home runs already after hitting 26 last year. So I will say he's gotten extremely unlucky in 2024. He hits the ball pretty hard, but he only has a 220 BABIP. That is batting average on balls in play, so that is really, really unlucky. The strikeouts are down. The walks are up. So honestly, Morel's profile going forward looks like he could be in line for a great second half. Hunter Biggie is 26 years old with wicked stuff. So of course, naturally, he's going to have a walk issue, but the Rays are confident they can corral that nasty stuff and they can fix the walk rate. 22-year-old Tyler Johnson also has disgusting stuff, but it seems like he's already fixed the walk issue this year. Not a bad haul at all if you're a Rays fan. Christopher Morel, he's got all the flair. Hunter Biggie, he's 26 years old with disgusting stuff. Tyler Johnson's 22, so it's a decent haul and a pretty good week for the Rays in terms of trade value. But again, trading your superstar players and faces of the franchise, that's never going to go well despite the fact that you have gotten some decent returns. So let's talk about the 2 other trades that went down. Michael Lorenzen is going to the Royals in exchange for Walter Pennington. Lorenzen has a 3.8 ERA, and he's not really looking to do much more than be a back end of the rotation guy. Walter Pennington, he's 26 years old. He had a 2.2 ERA and an almost 12 strikeouts per 9 as a relief pitcher. So essentially the Royals said, hey, you can have this relief pitcher. We desperately need some depth in our rotation. So Lorenzen, he might have just replaced Alec Marsh as a 4 or 5 guy. Carson Kelly is going from the Tigers to the Rangers in exchange for Liam Hicks and Tyler Owens. Carson has 7 home runs and a 100 OPS plus, which is pretty good for a disgusting defense-first catcher, and it's sad to see that Jonah Heim has really regressed in the box for the Rangers. The Tigers get 5'9" short king Liam Hicks. He's a catcher slash DH slash first baseman in Double A this year. He has 15 doubles, 4 home runs, and he's been decent. Not very good, to be honest. But they also got Tyler Owens. This is the second time this year that Tyler Owens has been traded. He went from the Braves to the Rangers, now the Rangers to the Tigers. He has a 2.8 ERA. The strikeouts aren't insane, but that's not a bad ad if you're a Tigers fan, especially considering you still have Dylan Dingler coming up in the system. He could be a really good catcher as well. So that does it for all the trades, and for the second time this year, someone hit for the cycle and their team lost. First it was Yordan Alvarez, now it's Xavier Edwards of the Marlins. In the same game that he hits his first career home run on the first pitch of the game, he has his first cycle, so lots of first. Like this right here. That's the first lead of the game for the Brewers. Jake Bauers, he socked a 2-run home run to right field. Bryce Terang with the web gem. Bryce saves Tobias Myers, not just on that play, but back-to-back beauties. The ESPN, what does the ESPN sound? Sorry. 14 defensive run saves and 3 outs above average for Bryce Terang, who's a stolen base machine as well. Bryce then clutched up with the stick an inning later after Joey Ortiz smashed a laser beam 175-mile-per-hour single to bring home Rhys Hoskins. He legs out that infield single. Terang knocks home another, and Jackson Chourio, he has really turned it up a notch ever since Paul Skeens came up. The rookie's hitting .320 with 16 extra base hits, 26 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases over his last 40-ish games. He wants the Rookie of the Year. Xavier, there he is with his triple. That's in the 7th inning. He has 10 multi-hit games this month alone. Devin Williams, he's back from the IL, a 96 heater for his first out. Xavier Edwards, he used all of that speed to secure his cycle. He beats out the Adames play, so the second Miami cycle ever. He's hitting .379 with a .460 on base and 8 stolen bases in his first 25 games this year. Josh Bell, he rolls over, he ends the game, and not only he ends the game, but his career as a Marlin, they waived him. Apparently, no one wants Josh Bell in a trade, so a waiver is different from a release. A release is you have to pay the guy, and a waiver is you put him on waivers. If someone picks him up, they have to pay the remainder of that guy's salary. So Josh Bell, he's owed like $5 to $6 million. They're hoping that if no one wants him in a trade, they'll at least take him. And again, despite the fact that he does have like 6 home runs over his last 6 or 7 games, the first half of this year was absolutely brutal. So it's not just we'll pick up Josh Bell for free. No, it's kind of an expensive risk if you ask me. The Nationals and the Cardinals game had a crazy ending. Don't you guys go anywhere. Wilson Contreras, he started the scoring with a solo home run, and catcher Pedro Pages, yes, catcher, he added another on a triple. They gave Wilson a breather. He was the DH in this one. So it's 2-0. Well, actually, it's 2-1 because CJ Abrams grounded out for an RBI, and Lane Thomas, he ties it versus Miles Michaelis with a second double. I think 2 doubles on the day. Obviously, second double means he had 2 doubles. He's a free agent after next season, so I'm wondering why they haven't traded Lane Thomas. Anyway, the 6'7" phenom James Wood, he showed off the sprinter speed. He galloped to third base for a stand-up triple. He did his little dance. He doesn't look like he's running fast, but the strides are so insanely long. He's covering a lot of ground with each of them. Juan Yepes, he lines one to right for a 6th RBI of the series and scores James Wood on the sac fly. This is a do-or-die play. CJ cannot field it as Michael Ciani is given the RBI single. Probably the right call. A lot of people said it was an error. We're tied in the 9th inning. Goldie's up and Goldie's out. I keep on forgetting that he's a free agent after this season, so are the Cardinals going to move on to try and get some pieces, or are they going to hold on and make a last chance run? He's got 16 home runs, but only an 88 OPS plus, and he's basically 37 years old, so how much can you really get? Cleveland has done absolutely nothing to get better, which is super frustrating, but they can take 2 of 3 from the Phillies in Philly with the W. Rookie Joey Cantillo, yes, that's how you say his last name. It's not the double L that sounds like a Y. It's Cantillo. He's been a strikeout machine in Double A. Kyle Schwarber doesn't care about MLB debuts. He goes 398 feet on his first home run, 404 feet on his second home run, back-to-back 3 RBI games for Schwarber, and 8 RBIs his last 4. Do you guys hear that? It sounds very Christmassy. Is that the first Noel? It is. Jhonkensy Noel, a.k.a. Big Christmas, one of my favorite nicknames in baseball. He ties it with a 3-run home run to the North Pole. He's got some of the best barrel rates and bat speeds in baseball. Also full pause, but he's got the thickest lower half I've ever seen from a baseball player. His legs are the size of a Toyota Corolla. Did Steven just hit the Quan? He did. Quan turns on a 98 fastball versus Jose Alvarado. That is not easy to do. I mean, at least I assume it's not. He's got 11 home runs and 319 at-bats. He had 11 home runs his first 1,200 at-bats over his first 2 seasons. Emmanuel Clase is automatic. He goes 1-2-3 on 7 pitches for his 33rd save. Cleveland, they take 2 of 3 on the road, and if this team can figure out some way to get a starting pitcher and a power-hitting outfield, watch out, because the bullpen in the top of the order is elite. The Yankees are showing that even as a 60-win team, you cannot take your foot off the gas. You got to get better and better. Talking about you, Guardians. Make a trade, please. That's why being a Yankees fan is so fun, because even though slumps happen, reinforcements are always around the corner. We saw Judge single home Verdugo after he got on base 6 times the game prior. Talking about Judge. Glaber's hot streak, it will not go away. He plates 2 on a single the other way, so that is a crooked number in the first. The Yankees actually make it 4-0 on a Ben Rice sac fly, but here comes the Red Sox. They broke out the boomsticks. Lefty masher Rob Refsnyder, he mashed the lefty Carlos Rodon, and Connor Juan makes it back-to-back home runs. Can Rafael Devers make it 3 in a row? It's off the wall, and then it's past Jazz Chisholm Jr. He'll figure that out fast. But yeah, reading baseballs off the monster your first time is not very easy. Devers is now at third. Rookie Sadon can send Fenway into a frenzy, and that was a nasty slider from Rodon. Carlos, he held the Red Sox in check from there. He ended up striking 7 over 6 in the third. He has 24 strikeouts over his last 17 innings, which is big for this Yankees squad. So this game was all New York after the 4th inning. Duran got hosed on a check swing. He was not happy. As Waldo Cabrera, he bounced one out for a 2-run ground rule double. Jazz, he got his first base hit as a Yankee as they win 8-2. And let me just say this, Jazz in New York, it's going to work. Their fan base already loves his flair and energy. Baltimore has basically been following the Yankees' win-loss pattern all month, so the odds are they're going to win, right? Well, it's looking likely so far. The O's are up 1-0 on a bases of a walk to Gunner when Ryan O'Hearn, he poked one the other way. Everyone had to wait to see if it would drop, so only 1 scores. Not on this swing, though. Runners moving on contact because that one was going to drop Ryan Mountcastle, a 2-run single. That was followed up by a 2-run double off the bat. Cedric Mullins, he splits the gap, and it's 6-0 Baltimore. But the Padres, they were not going to go down without a fight. Kim, that's an RBI double. Higashioka, an RBI single, barely past Gunnar Henderson, might I add. Luis Reyes, it's a double play, so no RBI, but another run scores, which means that this home run makes it 6-5. Sander Bogarts, just like he did last season, he was awful in the first half, and now he's going to make his season stat line look great because he's going to have a blistering, historic second half. He has 18 hits his last 8 games. He's batting .550. Baltimore's only up 1 now. Oh, wait, this ball's not leaving because Cedric, he made the insane grab. A huge game for Cedric. He makes the play in the outfield. He had a 2-run double. He also took a walk as well. Imagine if he gets fully going. Ryan Mountcastle with another clutch 2-run base hit. Good thing they got more than 6 runs because San Diego actually would have tied it on this tough play at shortstop. Tyler Wade, he stayed in the running lane according to the umpire, so no interference, a run scores. Yanir Cano, he eventually got the last out, so no changes at the top of the AL East. The Orioles, they're still up by 1 game. What about the AL West? 1 game separates first from second place, and the Rangers, they fought their way back to within a few games. I'll show the Astros game first because they're in first place as of right now. Rookie Ryan River was great again. He got Diaz to bounce into a double play, and both Pena and Singleton, they go down via the strikeout. Remember, River, he is a converted pitcher. He used to be a shortstop, so he's always had a host piece. Astros rookie starter Spencer Arrighetti, he was on fire for the first 4 frames, but the long ball really hurt him. James Outman, he somehow got this ball to sneak out to the Crawford boxes, and Gavin Lux, he is so back. At least I hope. I'm crossing my fingers. He's hitting over 300 with 10 extra base hits and 15 RBIs with a 920 OPS since mid-June. Both starting pitchers were out after striking out 8, and I will say the Dodgers might have an Alex Vesia problem. Yainer Diaz, he crushed a 2-run home run. Vesia gave up 6 runs over his first 44 innings. He's given up 4 runs over his last 2 2/3. Teoscar Hernandez, he kind of steals back the momentum. See ya, baseball. His 22nd home run starts another rally. Kevin Biggio, he peppered a 2-run line drive to center field. He's got 4 RBIs over his last 4. We head to the 9th. Ohtani walked, and he stole his 27th bag. That is a brand new career high. He's got 32 home runs, 27 stolen bases, and over his last 162 games, he almost went 50-40. He has 51 home runs and 37 stolen bases. He might win MVP without playing defense or pitching. Anyway, Kevin Biggio ends it with a diving play at first base. Let's see if the Mariners can capitalize on the Houston L. Randy, he got on for Cal Raleigh. It's still so weird to say that Randy is a Mariner. Cal just turned on a 97 fastball outside and hit to left field. He pulled it. The dude has crazy power. He's got 22 home runs and 65 RBIs. Garrett Crochet cannot get out of a White Sox uniform fast enough. Paul DeYoung, he whiffs it Two end up scoring on the air. Garrett, he's taken out early, and they're just trying to save his arm just in case they trade him. He ended up taking the L, so he's now 6-8 despite being a machine. Win-loss record is completely useless, and we used to give out awards like literal Cy Youngs over win-loss record. Just absolutely insane. I'm happy that voting is now ERA and strikeouts and FIP and stuff like that, not pitcher wins. Cal drove in his 62nd RBI and scores Victor Robles. Bryce Miller, he was lights out on the mound. He struck out the side in the 6th inning. One of them was Luis Robert Jr., who now has 24 strikeouts over his last 10 games. Some fans are saying that it's on purpose, that he wants out. I don't know about that. Luis, he's already been called out in the past for dogging it in the baselines. I don't think he's going to do that again. Paul DeJong, he at least redeemed himself a little bit. Still a quality start for Bryce Miller, but DeJong now has 18 home runs. Munoz, he gets the save opportunity now. He's got 18 saves. The White Sox have lost 14 games in a row. 14. And it's crazy and kind of sad to see what happened to them, because not too long ago, a lot of people were picking the White Sox to win the freaking World Series. So Seattle does tie Houston again for first place, while the Rangers took a punch to the gut before a pitch was even thrown. John Gray's out the game. He's already missed some time this year with a groin injury. I'm hoping that he's okay. Jonathan Hernandez, he got the emergency start. Vladdy's got a sac fly, and check this out. Dalton Varsho, he makes it back-to-back days with a home run in the 1st inning. He's got 13 home runs and 13 outs above average, so one of the better power speed defense threats in baseball. Vladdy, he just took a hack. I don't know if it has the distance, though. It does. His 19th home run, he almost has a 150 OPS plus. He shut down the non-believers and haters real quick. He absolutely deserves to be on the cover of a video game. Rookie Addison Barger was called up to kind of replace Bo Bichette because Bo's down with that calf issue. He turns on a pitch. He doubled in 2 to make it 6-0. That basically summed up this game as Barrios. He struck out 5 over 7. His ERA is back under 4, so he's very hit or miss. He's either the best pitcher on the team or he forgets how to pitch. I'll also show this for Rangers fans. Josh Smith has 11 home runs and a 137 OPS plus. His breakout season continues. Toronto, they sweep the defending champs as the Rangers fall to 4.5 games back of first place. We're going to talk about some other AL West teams, and honestly, these teams have the power to change the entire trajectory of the second half and the playoffs. We'll talk about that. Actually, we'll talk about that right now. Brent Rooker is a top 10 hitter in baseball right now. I'll bite and go full recency bias. That is a 3-run base clearing double. Imagine if a playoff contender got a hold of a 296 batting average guy with 25 home runs, 75 RBIs, a 173 OPS plus. He would be a perfect fit on anyone not named the Dodgers or the Braves because they already have their DH. Imagine Brent Rooker on the Guardians or something like that. Same with this next guy. He can make an impact. Not Willie Calhoun. Love you, Willie. He makes it 6-3 on a 2-run single. This guy right here, Taylor Ward, with the go-ahead grand slam. The Royals are reportedly in on him and Luis Rengifo. We'll talk about the Royals game after this, as Nolan Schanuel hit an RBI hit by pitch. The Halos bullpen was unhittable. 5 1/3 no-hit frames to end it. Luis Garcia Jr. did not strike out anyone, but a easy 1-2-3 9th inning for his 4th save. I think the first save opportunity ever since they traded away Carlos Estevez. So a sick comeback. Trout's x-rays have been negative, so his knee is okay. They're 9.5 games back. I know this is a pie-in-the-sky idea, but imagine if they keep everyone. Trout and Detmers come back and they play like all-stars. Can we let a boy dream? So we just talked about the Royals trying to pry away Taylor Ward and Rengifo, and to be honest with you guys, that's a very good trade on paper because it'd be a perfect trade. Renfroe's been decent. That's a nice little 2 RBI single, but left fielder MJ Melendez, he was hitless again. He's hitting 179 with a 582 OPS since April 20th. He's probably been the worst hitter in baseball for the last 3 or 4 months. Nico Horner, that's down the line, so both runners can jog home. Horner ties it for like 3 seconds. Freddie Fermin, he put the Royals back of 1 on a fan interference call. The Cubs fan was trying to help out. It might have gone foul. Who knows? It's called the home run. Reagans, he was 1 out away from going 6 innings, and the Cubs, they make the Royals pay for believing in their guy. David Bodie, he shot one to right. Renfroe can't get there. So Bodie had the Rocky RBI double, and then he scores on the Pete Crow Armstrong PCA base hit. That single makes it 4-3, and holy moonshot. Patrick Wisdom goes 440 feet. He's got 29 home runs and a near 110 OPS plus over his last 143 games. The Cubs get 2 more as Michael Busch drove in Seiya Suzuki. He got Happ to third on the hit and run, so Happ, he's going to score on this Dansby Swanson sac fly. So the Cubs, they trade for Nate Pearson for bullpen help. They get Isaac Paredes. I don't know if they're necessarily going for it this year, but hey, they're adding value. I'm going to tip my cap to that, whether it's for this year or the next. They're trying to get some pieces back. Now, the reason why I say I don't know if the Cubs are truly going for it, because the Giants basically have all of their troops back and they're ahead of the Cubs in the wild card. The Giants are looking for their 4th win in a row. Casey Schmidt, that's a long home run. And then newcomer Derek Hill, he sent one to Triples Alley. He can absolutely fly. And by the way, if he looks familiar, he spent the first half with the Rangers. Leadoff hitter Jorge Soler, he came through again. That's an RBI single. He's batting .280 with 22 extra base hits, 24 RBIs, and a .375 on base over his last 46 games. Ooh, this next play was rough because the Rockies, they would have actually won this game if this didn't happen. Check it out. McMahon, he lost the 3rd out after he dropped the tag, so the Giants get an extra out, and yeah, Matt Chapman made them pay for it. He laced a single to left, and Hill scores easy. Soler, he's just ahead of the throw, so it makes it 5-2. So instead of it being 3-2, and this being a game-tying home run, Michael Tolia's solo home run, he makes it 5-3, and this would have won it. Jacob Stallings, he bounced an RBI groundout, so it's 5-4 Colorado. Lucky W. Tovar, he rolls over as Doval. He's got a 4.4 ERA, but 20 saves. The Giants are 3.5 games back of the final wildcard spot. The Cubs are 5 games back, so still kind of in it, but I don't know. What do you guys make? Who has a better chance, the Giants or the Cubs? The Braves are getting some payback versus the Mets. New York, they took the first 2 games of the series, and the Atlanta Braves played the Uno reverse card. They win Game 3, and as soon as Matt Olson made contact with that baseball, Game 4 was a wrap. Matt, he's trying to save his awful season, and I'm going to say awful. Yeah, he does have 15 home runs and 48 RBIs, but the on-base is down 86 points. He only has a 95 OPS plus. Even after that 3-run home run. Arcia, he walked in a run. It's 4-0 for Ronaldo, who was taken out with forearm tightness. He goes 3 shutout. I'm hoping that he's going to be okay because they really took him out as a precaution. He was still really good. And why do people still run on Ramon Laureano? Can someone tell me that? Fools. He saves a run, and then he added some runs later. We'll show that in a second because Orlando Arcia, he made Ryan Stanek look awful in his New York debut. Stanek, he was just not good. He was booed in his very first inning. He hits Duvall, and then Riley hit one out. Riley has 14 home runs. So again, that's pretty good, but just like Matt Olson, he has not quite been himself this year. Ryan Stanek stunk it up. Now, this was not off of Ryan Stanek, but Ramon, he really is trying to make it for overrunning that McNeil walk-off in game number 1. He had that outfield assist, this 2-run home run. Pete, I do want to mention he had a 2-run home run as well. So that's 21 home runs, $21,000 to animal shelters. And staying with the wild card, things are about to get crazy. Arizona, they are now ahead of Pittsburgh in the wild card after winning the first 2 games of this series. Jake McCarthy, he went 5 for 5 the game prior. There he is. He motors around for an RBI triple to bring home Jock Peterson. Arizona got another one on a sac fly when O'Neal Cruz bashed another towering home run. He has 8 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases over his last 27 games. We're going to head to the 9th. Yes, the 9th. Paul Sewald. We might have just seen a man lose his job. Joey Bart, he tied it with a double to the gap. Sewald, he blew another save despite striking out 3. So, like, he was kind of nasty, but it means nothing when you have 4 blown saves in 1 month. Maybe AJ Puck is going to be his replacement. Jared Triolo, that's his first ever play in the outfield, his first ever inning as an outfielder. He makes the diving play. Pittsburgh steals the lead in extra innings with a wild pitch, and Justin Martinez, he was just not great with the command. He walked in another after they walked O'Neal Cruz. Cabrine, he had a massive 2 RBI base hit. He makes it 6-2, and good thing that he did that because Arizona, they would have walked it off. And this took me back to the 1996 ALCS when Jeter had a fan catch a home run for him. I don't know if that was going to leave. It was kind of close. Not as bad as that Jeter home run in Palacios. He's beside himself. He's like, I could have caught that ball. Replay said no interference. A 2-run home run followed by Lourdes. Again, this would have walked it off if Hayes had not driven in those 2. The Pirates leave out Colin Holderman. They're saying, you got to get these outs, buddy. He eventually got the final out, so the Diamondbacks are a half game back of the wild card. The Pirates, they're 2 games back. So that's why I say the Cubs, are they going for it? There are so many teams ahead of them. 2 sac flies brought home 2 for Minnesota, and Bailey Ober, I mean, this guy was disgusting. That's all he needed. We're going to fast forward to the 7th. Rookie Ryan Valade, he wanted to make back-to-back leaping web gems. He robs Austin Martin, but he couldn't get the Wallner double. Wallner's hitting .370 with 8 extra base hits in 13 games this July. Bailey Ober was unreal. That's his 9th strikeout right there. Make it double digits. He matches a career and season high, and he's got a new career best. He strikes out the side in the 8th inning, which is unreal. 8 shutout, 1 hit, 11 strikeouts. Austin Martin and Ryan Jeffers, they added a few insurance runs, which means that the save opportunity is now gone. Thielbar, he strikes out 2 to seal it in the 9th inning. The Twins, they're 58-46. They have a top 5 offense. Bailey Ober and Pablo Lopez look like themselves again. If Minnesota grabs another starter and a reliever, they're going to be a legit powerhouse. Guys, that wraps it up for today's recap. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy, and enjoy the web gems.
At least he's got a response. Boy, man, that bring down rain, that pop up.
Mallory's husband pops it up, and Fermin hangs with it.
Williams, and he hits a ground ball toward the middle. Lindor lays out, glove flip to Iglesias on to first.
Henderson ranging the other way. He throws on to first, and
He locates his heater right there. It's going to get hit just like that one.
Isbell dives. Oh, he's got.
Hard up the middle. Perdomo, what a stop.